Well, I digress. It's football time, ladies and gentlemen. We're all here on this Tuesday, and we got kind of a new name for an old segment. So here we go. We're going to get started with our new segment called The Coin Toss. And basically, this is our news and notes segment of the show. But I just thought the coin toss was just a much cooler name, personally. So, anyways, you like that, don't you? You
yes,
like
sir.
this. See,
yes,
I was working today while you were out there jogging or whatever you were doing. You know what I'm saying? I was in there putting in the sweat equity.
I went to work today, sir, and then I got to work out.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to look.
Say right.
I'm trying to stay zaddy status for the missus. All right.
Right.
you could tell the difference there, folks. We got two gym rats, and I'm over here eating ho-hos on my couch. But anywho, let's get to, I can't help it. You know, I'm a chubby guy. What am I going to do?
But anyway. Don't feel bad, bro. I ate a whole thing of EL fudge last night. The whole thing.
Oh, look at that. EL fudge. Those are good cookies. Anywho, let us get to our first topic. Oh, God. See, double stuffed even. Look at this guy. You're killing me. But our first segment, of course, the coin toss. Our first bit of business actually is Jimmy G has agreed to restructure his contract, folks, to stay in San Francisco with a no trade clause, but obviously he could be traded if the right deal was made, and a no franchise tag clause. Delilah, how do you feel about this move by the 49ers and Jimmy G?
I think this is a great deal for Jimmy G, to be honest, because he gets to leave after the season too. So it's not like, and by that point, he really is a free agent, could do what he wants. So for him, this is a cushy deal. Like, he's getting paid the money that he wanted, right? Because he just wanted to. For him, I think it had more to do with respect. He's like, I put in the seasons. I took you guys to the playoffs, So, like, I really think that's really why he wanted to leave. And when they gave him, hey, you know what? This is our future right now. So we're going to start Trey, but here's this money. And so, honestly, I think he got the good end of that deal, to be honest.
Now, Mr. Fingers, I'm going to ask you this because, honestly, in thinking about this, what is San Francisco, when you think about it, like Lila said, Jimmy could walk at the end of this year if they don't trade him. What do you think about this whole deal with Jimmy G staying in San Francisco?
Bro, it's literally like if you were in the casino, you were counting cards in your head, and you were holding pot. You had 2 10s, and you knew the next card was an ace. Jimmy G, I'm right there with Delilah. It's like he's got a no trade clause. He's got a no trade clause. Yeah, they can trade him if they want to, but he's got a no trade clause. He gets to stay in San Francisco. He can carry a clipboard while still getting paid. And then at the end of the season, if they're still not willing to show him that love, then he could pedal his wares anywhere he wants to pedal them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not like him having to wait and go, oh my God, are they gonna trade me to Jacksonville? Like, or am I gonna get traded to Cleveland and watch my career be over? Because that's where quarterbacks' careers go to die. I think he got I think he got a great deal. Honestly, I think he would have been a phenomenal quarterback if he could have just stayed healthy. So this for him is a great deal. More than likely, he's going to wind up being a clipboard holder that's going to maybe sit in 2 or 3 games a year, no matter where he plays. But at least right now, he's getting that bag before he leaves San Francisco.
Yeah, see, my thing too was that his shoulder surgery, I think, scared a lot of people off in March when he had the surgery and everything. People were like, wait, we're not so. Well, I have to agree with you, Kate. This is what the point I was getting to is that Trey Lance has had 2 starts and a minimal amount of college games. Are we really betting the San Francisco team is a playoff team. They were in the NFC championship game last year, boys and girls.
Yes, they were.
So they beat the Packers. However you want to look at it, they beat the Packers in that divisional playoff game. But you're trusting a guy who started 2 games. I know he's your second-year quarterback. You moved up to draft him 3rd. But do we trust Trey Lance to really get this job done? I know Jimmy's sitting there probably, secretly gnawing his teeth going, man, I can't wait till this kid screws up so I can get myself back in there. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, that San Francisco is betting everything they have on Trey Lance. And, I get Jimmy staying where he is because there wasn't a lot of action or activity for him. Because I believe trade talks started earlier and a lot of teams didn't seem to bite. And so knowing that Jimmy was available and now probably realizing that there wasn't a lot out there for him, I see, for like you said, for Jimmy, it's a great deal. He stays put, he gets paid, and at the end of the year, he can walk away if nothing's done with him. So, like you said, he's definitely got the upper hand here, and I think even has the upper hand in terms of we'll see him play again this season.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if Trey Lance can, comes out and doesn't have a great start to the season or starts to, just not play well, Jimmy, I don't think they'll hesitate, to get Jimmy back in there. He's a proven veteran. He's a leader. They love him in the locker room. So, yeah, that's an interesting one for me. I'm definitely going to wait and see how that develops, especially since in week 1, Delilah, they do play our beloved Bears. And I know nobody's giving us the chance to win that game, but I'm telling you, if we can get to the Rook, we might have a shot, baby. But that's another subject for another time.
That's okay. I agree with you, though. I do agree, though. Like, I don't think Shanahan will hesitate, like you said. Like, if push comes to shove, we all know who Shanahan, all these like up and coming young coaches learn from, right? And so, like, I do agree with that part too, right? That if it comes down to Trey Lance not cutting it, 49ers kind of has a safety net.
Yeah.
So. No, for sure.
It doesn't make it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you and Kate make a good point. You both make a good point about that.
Yeah, and it's just, but the biggest thing is that the 49ers at some point you knew they were going to have to put him out there because they picked him third in the draft, and they were at some point you're going to have to put him on the field and go, okay, we're taking the training wheels off. Either you're going to ride or you're going, like Cat Williams say, if you ride, you're going to fall. So either you're going to ride or you're going to fall. One of those two, and they got to find out which one that Trey is going to do.
Well, there you go. Sage advice, my friend. All right, let's move on to the second topic in coin toss. This one is a more serious one. Again, obviously, we've all heard the story by now of Matt Araiza, the punter from Buffalo, who was alleged to have actually raped a young girl while he was in college. Not a great story, obviously. No one likes to hear this kind of thing. And, of course, the NFL's position was that because this was something that happened before he was a professional, that they couldn't really do anything. But Delilah, Buffalo stepped up and said, sorry, we are cutting you. But my question would be to you, if found innocent, if he's not guilty of this and he claims his innocence, do you think he gets another chance in the NFL after the given recent history and the way that Buffalo discarded of him? Do you think Matt gets another chance if proven innocent?
I don't think so. I think that even, we all heard about that. Like, once you're accused of something like that, regardless if people find you guilty or not guilty, people still don't really trust you, right? We've you pay attention to all this true crime stuff, right? Where someone's accused who's actually innocent, but people still look at you side eye, right? So I think that whoever he was with, regardless if he participated or not, now these are the repercussions of what went down, right? So I really don't think that anyone in NFL is going to take a chance on him, even if he's found. It's just not with, in light of recent events, right? Everything that's going on. Again, when the NFL said that, a lot of people were upset too. But again, they said they don't have a policy for what stuff happens, before you become a professional. Right. And so I think just with everything going on, the Watson, I just don't think anybody's going to want to touch this kid anymore. They just don't want to, they don't want that hovering over, people were, I know a lot of people believed in this kid, right? Everybody saw him, like he was really talented. And so there were some hopes that, he would come in and make a splash. And just with an accusation like this, I think his NFL career is over. I really don't think a team will take a shot on this kid.
Okay, well, Anthony, or Mr. Hand, Mr. Fingers, as they like to call him, or as he likes to be called, I have a question for you then. Given that this happened, like I said, before he was drafted, do you think maybe the NFL should institute a policy maybe or vet these people better to find stuff like this out before a kid like this is even drafted? What do you think of that?
I think they're at some point they're going to have to, but we know that the NFL does a lot of talk here and sometimes very little action here. I kudos to the Bills for, coming through like they did. We were just talking about the whole thing with Deshaun Watson a couple weeks ago, and they came back and said, okay, well, we're gonna, you know what I mean? So it may be part of it is, let's just say it turns out down the road that he was innocent of all charges. This was kind of the NFL going, okay, we might not have done right by this Deshaun Watson thing, but we kind of had a legal standpoint to do, so we're going to make up for it on this side. You know what I'm saying? So I think they need to? Absolutely. I mean, you are every single person that gets signed by the NFL as a player, as an employee, as a coach, as whatever it is you do. You are a representative of the league, and everything that you do reflects upon the league. And especially in 2022 with women's rights and things like that, and things that I'm not trying to please don't think I'm dogging the Me Too movement, but I'm going to bring that up, that with the Me Too movement and people trying to bring awareness to things like this that happen, they're going to have to at some point. I mean, we talked about what happened with the whole thing with Michael Vick. People didn't want to go to games because they had a guy that killed dogs, that fought dogs and killed them. And then Ray Rice, of course. I think they're going to have to. The short answer is yes. I think the NFL is going to have to do something.
No, that's a good explanation. Good.
I kind of agree with that.
Just to kind of add to what happened. So basically, this is a civil lawsuit, but it is being investigated though. So what everybody is saying is that right now it's a civil lawsuit. The girl came forward. They're protecting her identity, which is why you just hear her as Jane Doe. So right now it's a civil lawsuit, but the criminal investigation is still ongoing. So it does not mean that he will not face criminal charges. They're just gathering all this kind of information. And so there's just a lot of things, there's like all these different legality things happening. So the young lady is suing him and the other players who were part of, the gang rape. And then there's still an ongoing investigation, and it's taking place in California because this is where he went to college. And so there might be criminal charges later. They just, everything's kind of up in the air. So that's another reason why I think that they also cut him, because as soon as they learn that there's an ongoing investigation, they're not going to want to risk that twin cost, right? Is he guilty, not guilty? And then he goes to jail. And so I think that's why the Buffalo was like, we're done. We're not going to deal with this. We're not going to wait for whatever happens. They just wanted to move on from that. And they're like, that's it, And so I think that's the other reason why he was cut. It wasn't just a civil lawsuit. It's because
I know
that is an ongoing investigation. And he may still, with the other football players being accused, they still might face criminal charges. And so I think that's the other reason why the Bills cut them, because they're not going to wait for whatever the decision is.
Yeah, I mean,
and a lot of times in the NFL, let's be honest, it's image. And Buffalo's a Super Bowl contender, my friend. Yeah, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying that could have definitely played a part in their decision as well. That hey, we don't need that kind of distraction here all year while this carries on. Like I said, in the court system, we're going to nip this in the bud now and move on with our season.
Yeah. College case in point.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. College, I do that all the time, and I'm sorry. I'm just going to start holding up the church finger, and so y'all can come to me when y'all finish y'all point. Just the last football season, an almost identical scenario with Adam Anderson, who was one of the star players of the Georgia Bulldogs, who had similar accusations come up, and he was released from the team. And there's a criminal investigation that is still ongoing. They haven't even gone to court yet. It's been a year since those accusations came out. So
look at that. Yeah, carry on for a while.
Yeah, so it's going to go on for a while, and this is not something that the NFL wants to have hanging over there, hanging over like a black cloud. I mean, there's already enough stuff going on in the league. I mean, they still got the whole Dan Snyder mess going on. Sorry, Sean, I'm not trying to dog your team.
All right. Well, listen, let's go ahead. I think we all kind of agree on that point, that Matt Araiza being cut was the right thing to do. Let us move on. And I'm sure, as all of you know, today was the day where everybody was down to 53 players on their roster. Today was National Cut Day for the NFL. 3 p.m. Every team had their, at least for today, their 53-man roster. As we all know, there's plenty of people who were cut today. And there's a lot of notable names on this list, and I really wanted to go over this because I thought some of the names that were gone, especially in the running back department, I'm sure there are teams out there who will scoop these guys up. Just the three big names off the top. Duke Johnson, who's a veteran running back, obviously was cut by Buffalo. We had Sony Michel cut by the Dolphins, and Marlon Mack kind of in a surprise because they're going out with Damian Pierce and Rex Burkhead in their back end. The Texans cut Marlon Mack. Now, Mr. Fingers, I will ask you, sir. These three running backs, man, do you see these three guys getting on teams this year? Who do you think needs a running back and a veteran presence there in the backfield?
I definitely see Sony Michel getting picked up. He put in some work in New England, but he doesn't have, he's not one of those running backs like like Ezekiel Elliott, that has a lot of mileage on him, doesn't have a whole rack of injuries. Plus, he's a guy that has played on a couple of squads that have gone to Super Bowl, so he's also got that Super Bowl winning experience. Not that it was like he was Tom Brady slinging the ball around for 5,000 yards a game, but still, I definitely think he finds a landing spot. And now, who needs a running back? Oh, I can't think of any team that necessarily would need a running back. I mean, let me think. Let me wipe my head while I think a minute.
Of course.
There are a few teams that could definitely use a running back. Yesterday on our fellow show, Watching the Football Weekly, we talked about the unfortunate incident with B-Rob. So, that could be a easy finger snap landing spot for him. So I definitely think that he will he'll find a landing spot with nothing flat.
Yeah, also Philip Lindsay of the Colts was on that running back list of notable names cut. So it's four decent running backs there who could definitely find a home. Delilah, I'm going to come with you with the quarterbacks. Some of the quarterbacks that were released. Let's go. Listen to some of these. Right? Yeah, poor Josh Rosen. Poor Josh Rosen gets released by the Browns. That poor kid. Talk about a guy with bad luck all the way around, right? You get on a team and then they draft Kyler Murray, then they get rid of you. The Browns bring in Deshaun. He gets suspended for 11 games. They're going to start Jacoby Brissett and they cut you. So there you go. But Josh Johnson of the Broncos and Logan Ryan of the, not Logan Ryan. My guy Kellen Mond of the Vikings was also cut, which I kind of wanted, I figured they need a backup there for Mr. Michigan State Kirk Cousins. But the interesting one to me is Josh Johnson, because as you probably know, Johnson was with the Broncos. This guy's played on 15 different teams in his 15 NFL seasons, and he gets cut again. But Delilah, the couple of these quarterbacks are like Kellen Mond is still a young kid. Josh Rosen, for all intents and purposes, has only been in the league, 4 years? So, I mean, what do you think here of these quarterbacks released? Can we see them catching on with anyone? What do you think?
I don't know. I think because honestly, I guess maybe Dallas, because then they cut their two backups.
Well, Dallas did something very interesting really quickly, right? For those who don't know, they only have one quarterback on their 53-man roster as of today. They cut everybody else. So you got Dak Prescott, and that's it. So you better hope somebody clears waivers or whatever. You sign them to the practice squad or get another quarterback in there, because I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to talk to Ashley Swinton about that one, because I don't know what they're doing there in Dallas. I don't know what they're doing over there, but anyways, we can talk about that later, right?
Sorry,
let's go back to this list, right?
Well, you said who could use some backups.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no, but, I did say that, right? I did ask the question.
Anyway, but it's difficult to say, because now that if you look around the league, aside from a few outliers, everybody's got their backups already, and so just anybody who gets picked up will be just a reserve, and if they have the spot for them too, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, so, true, very true.
I feel like maybe Rosen might get picked up by somebody. It's possible that he does get third string kind of deal somewhere,
right? Right. End up on a practice squad, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult because there are a lot of. Yeah, I don't know. If you look around the league, the QBs are pretty good, except again, like the team I mentioned.
Except the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, so I don't know. And yeah, and Josh Johnson, I think because he's a veteran, so I feel like someone will pick him up because he's got the.
I'd like to say, why not go to your 16th NFL team, Josh?
Yeah,
Why
I
not?
think I think someone might take a chance on him just because, like, again, like, regardless of all the quips and everything, like, he has been in the league long enough, so at least he knows the system, like, he understands. So, like, if something crazy happens and your two guys go down, like, he could come in and, like, So I could see him being picked up also, and be a reserve for a team out there.
I could definitely see that too. But yeah, it's an interesting list. And my thing is, when I was looking at this list, there's a couple of names that stood out to me just because. One, I think the Bears could benefit. The Buccaneers cut a young receiver, Tyler Johnson, and I think this is a kid. The Bears are 7th as far as the waiver wire goes, and I'm thinking if he's there, man, the Bears should really pick this kid up. He's a good young kid with speed. And Lord knows that we could use some help in our receiver room, just saying. But I think Tyler Johnson was a name that was a little surprising to people. Also, their defensive back, Logan Ryan, was also cut by the Buccaneers, which I think was a second, was kind of a shock as well. But, the Buccaneers are loaded in different positions. So, they're going to do what they do on their road to trying to get back to the Super Bowl. But one name I don't know if I was a little shocked, but I don't think maybe he didn't live up to his potential. Was the Raiders cut Alex Leatherwood, who was their offensive tackle first-round pick last year at number 17, and now he's gone. So he'll be looking for a new home as well. So, got linemen out here. O.J. Howard was cut by the Bills, so, veteran tight end.
Yeah.
He can't go back to Tampa Bay because they got like 4 of them. But, maybe O.J. Howard ends up somewhere in the backfield. Not long after the Falcons pick him up for the practice squad, they'll get Ritter, Rosen sooner than later. That's very clever. Whoever wrote that one. Facebook user is all I got. So identify yourself if you know who you are.
That's Ben Cornett. That's our buddy Ben.
Was that Ben Cornett? Okay, so that was our buddy Ben. See, all right, I can see the Bears definitely getting Tyler Johnson. Thank you, whoever that is, because I agree with you. That would be fantastic. I think so anyways. But again, for all our fans out there, that's just a small list of a lot of people who are cut. Obviously, again, with the waiver wire now and people looking at other things, I think you can pretty much guarantee that most teams will make a small move here or there.
Yeah.
And that the 53-man roster will not look the same on opening day as it does today.
It always happens. That always happens. Yeah.
Exactly.
Some weird things happen. Like I'm still rooting for Devin Allen, the Olympian, man. I really
I
was
like, all for it. There she goes. Right, there we go.
I really do.
Okay.
I want to see if he can actually, put the speed in when a defender's chasing you down,
right. Sure.
Your line, you got cut from the Eagles as well. And I don't know. It just take a shot. Who knows?
That's why that waiver wire is there, baby. You take a shot on someone, right? All righty then. Well, now that we've finished officially, that's all for the coin toss this week. So thank you for paying attention to that.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.